Gonna try to have a lot of people ride today, but I'm like, actually, might be kind of hard with battery. Got the most contrasting bikes, dude. The two-stroke diehards and the electric bike. Everyone's gonna be like, no electric bikes, keep the two strokes going. You can tell I've already forgotten about this one. She's still dirty. Hey, dude.
Did it die? Like, how do trains work?
I don't know. Can I call you back?
Yeah,
Tyler's like, do you hear him? It's like the train just stopped. Have you ever been at the train tracks where it just doesn't move? Oh my gosh, needs a Raptor. It may be on, you don't even know. Freshy. You know what? I don't think I want to walk it over there. Wow. Dude, look at this sunrise right now. Oh my gosh. All right guys, welcome back to the channel. As promised, we have our first ride day on the new Stark Varg electric motocross bike. So what we're gonna do today is basically get my first impressions of what this thing is like on the track. And I even brought my Gas MC250, good old two-stroke, to do a little head-to-head comparison for lap times and just kind of contrast back and forth. So if you guys don't know much about the Stark Varg, you can Google it. All the specs and stuff are online, so I don't want to bore you with the information about the power and the outputs and the maps. It's a really cool progressive bike, and fit and finish is just astronomically amazing. So my background, my name's Shelby Padgett, if you don't know. Thanks for watching the channel. I'm 36 years old. I spent over just about 5 years as a test rider for VitalMX as well over the years, so I've had quite a bit of seat time on different bikes. I run about a vet intermediate pace or so, and today will be a good example for maybe your everyday average guy getting out from, you know, I come off 450s, 250Fs, 252 strokes, 125s, 150s, so I've had a lot of different bikes, and so this will be a nice comparison to see how this stacks up against everything I've had in the garage before. So come along today, leave your comments below what you guys' thoughts are. Shout out to Fresh Moto for the graphic hookup, turned around fresh kit for the Varg in less than 3 days. And shout out to Skyline out here just outside of Boise, Idaho. Great track to come out, got a vet track, main track, and a flat track too. So should be a good day. All right, so here's our first laps, literally very first laps. The phone doesn't automatically open up to the Stark app, which is kind of weird, but we're at 100%. So if we go home, here's all my maps right now: 34 horsepower, 35 regen. Map 2 is 44, 51. 50, 64, 56 and 80, and 60 and 80. Of course I can adjust these on the fly, so I'll do 35 to start and 35 regen, and yeah, we'll start there. Actually, I gotta save it. A little touchy, but that's all right. Press back. Alright, press down on the map for map 1. Here we go. Alright, so some people have been mentioning that on some of the demo bikes they've had issues with the bike strutting off in the air. And I've got the rear brake set up here, so woo! Wow. Definitely different. Track's wet for sure. I'm getting used to the handbrake a little bit, so rear brake, front brake. Alright, so that's map 1. Let's see map 2. A little more. Get it used to the noise and the brakes. The brakes I'm just taking a little while for sure. Used to it, a little different for sure. Alright, feels good. Track's a little wet up here. Woo, slippery. Instant torque is gnarly, but wow, this is sick. Suspension is definitely stiff, but it needs to get broken in from what I recall from the reviews. Having that torque on demand, whew, that's a game changer. I'm a little timid with the front brakes for some reason. Different. Feels pretty natural in the air. For sure. I don't think it's unusual. not having that back brake, but on the foot. That seems to be the hardest thing to kind of adjust to right now. But oh my goodness, that's fun. So different. Wow.
How is it?
So different, but the same. Very interesting. All right, so just had the very first laps on the bike, and you probably saw it on the GoPro, but we did about maybe 10 minutes of riding or so. And my very first impressions, so the bike, I guess at an overall, the bike does what it's supposed to do, but the inputs and I think like the outputs or the feedback that you put into the bike or how you put into the bike is just different. So like when you're in the air, you know, you use a little bit of the gyroscopic stuff of the gas bike. This still has the same kind of feel in the air, but it's just done differently with the throttle input. And so like riding it feels natural, but totally different. It's really hard to explain. Corner speed and corner entry and exit is by far the biggest difference that I noticed in terms of ease of use. You can just ride through the corners and pick your lines, and it tracks incredibly well. I'm still getting used to the back brake on the left and the front brake on the right. Even though the front brake's where the gas bike is, it's still awkward for me. My body's like figuring it out. So I'm gonna go out again and go on the bigger track and put a little bit more time in, and we'll do a back-to-back comparison of lap times on the gas MC250 with literally my first day on a motocross track on this bike today. So I'm sure I'll improve over time and get more comfortable and used to it, but I'm curious where we fall just day one, first 20 minutes on the bike. So pretty cool. Okay. Very first full big track moto on the Stark Varg. Let's see how this goes. See if this feels as natural as I'm hoping it does. Oh yeah, this thing is so smooth, oh my goodness. Woo, so fast, holy cow. Jeez, man, so fast. Wow. The corners, so much easier. The exits, like unbelievable traction on the exit, especially. Nice arm pump, for sure. No vibration in the air, that's so weird. That's a weird feeling for sure. But gotta figure out a little bit of the nuances, but we'll
overall, so freaking sick. Corners are definitely cheating. Like, I've never hit corners this fast in my life. Oh my goodness. This isn't even funny. The corners are just nuts. This is how I wish I could corner on a gas bike. Back brake. Alright, that's the only corner I'm really struggling with. That really whew. I gotta figure out a little bit of like where the power really comes on and off. Like right there, a little more difficult. But, oh my goodness. I guess a lot of it's just learning how to use the brakes in a new, kind of a new fashion, I guess.
All right, Tyler, also on a newer YZF. You've had lots of different bikes.
Yeah.
And e-bike connoisseur.
Yep. Just got with the YZ250F. Hopped on this. I'd say first lap was just trying out corner jumps, kind of getting a feel for it, and it felt super natural after about 5 minutes, I'd say. But yeah, crazy. Definitely in the first minute I was reaching for my back brake on my dirt bike, but once I got used to the handbrakes, it felt super comfy.
And jumping?
Jumping was super smooth. No complaints about it. I was actually pretty shocked how much I liked it. So
cool.
Yeah, it was sick.
So Anthony, you're at a YZF 250, a new one?
Yep.
And you just did 2.5 laps?
2.5 laps on the Varg. Heavily impressed. Corners a lot easier than any dirt bike does. Throttle response, unbelievable. I think we had it at like only 35 horsepower, which felt more than enough. And just having the ability to focus on just the jump, the corner, not to worry about shifting or like, you know, clutch, engagement, things like that was really, really cool.
I'm gonna be curious to see what you think after you ride your bike again. Because that's where I felt
it. Over the first corner.
All right, so we just got our first day done, my first day on the Stark Varg. I haven't ridden any like Surons or anything like that before either, so this is like my first experience on like a motorcycle, electric motorcycle style bike. And definitely the second time I went out, I felt a lot better. I'm still getting used to the brake setup with the handbrake on the left, which I opted for that because I think once I get used to it, it'll be a lot easier. But right now I'm still adapting, so I know that's cutting into my confidence on corner entry. So I'm fiddling a little bit with the brake levers. But the cornering capabilities of the bike is absolutely like unparalleled with any gas bike in my opinion. I can go through a corner and I just feel completely confident. The bike feels static and planted. And then the biggest difference I think between the gas and this bike is the exits on the corners where you can just like roll on the throttle and it just builds torque and acceleration like nothing I've ever felt. So it feels like you're taking off on like an airplane, you know, where it just puts you back. And the traction stays consistent and straight too. That's a big difference too, where I'm not going sideways and squirrely, it just kind of takes off and hooks. So that's been the biggest difference that I've noticed is my corner speed and comfort is massively increased. Jumping seems fine. There's a little bit of nuances and quirks that are different, but not worse or better really, just adapting to a different feel. And having the power on tap is just incredible. I rode most of the day between 44 and 50 horsepower with about 60% engine braking. And I just ran out to limp mode, and I'll check and see, I'll put in the notes below how much run time I got, but I got enough time for probably about, we probably ran about maybe 12 laps or so, 10 to 12 laps in total between the vet track and the main track. And then we did some photos and stuff. So overall, more than enough battery for me on a Saturday morning. And the bike just feels super balanced. It feels like something was built correctly and it operates the way that it should. Suspension is a little stiff right now. It needs to be broken in, but the action on it feels good. So it's the SSS stuff and the Triple S in the rear. And like I said, once that breaks through that braking period, it's gonna be absolutely incredible. Yeah, you can hear stuff on the bike while you're riding, and that's not a big deal, just a little bit different. And then adjusting to the weight, you don't feel the weight at all on the track. You feel it a little bit on bigger jumps when you're up in the air and kind of static, and you just kind of need to move the bike a little to have it plant when you land. But other than that, it feels exactly like I would want it to, if not better than anything I could have thought it would handle like. I just need to get used to the brake setup. I think my lap times probably would have been faster today at least with the rear brake pedal. But like I said, I want to learn how to use it like this. So I'm gonna adapt to that and adjust. So we're gonna go back to getting her charged up. I'll probably be picking up a generator just to have that at the track and keep it charged the whole day because I could ride this a lot longer. And I think the last thing too is like I didn't get any arm pump on the bike. I get a good amount on my gas bike, and on this one, nothing. And coming out of corners, like going back and forth between the bikes, huge difference between consistent power delivery and traction and capabilities of like right now. So like when I come out of a corner and there's a little double or triple, this bike has no problem. My gas bike, I can feel the inefficiencies in it more so than I do on this. And of course that may change bike to bike, but yeah, that's a wrap.